Most people think intelligence is about having the right answers. They're wrong. Some of the smartest people you'll ever meet aren't the ones with the highest IQs. They're not the people with the most degrees. They're not even the people who talk the most. In fact, the people who get manipulated, betrayed, ignored, underestimated, and controlled are often incredibly intelligent. So what's missing? Why do some people walk into a room and instantly command respect, while others spend years trying to prove themselves? Why do some people always seem one step ahead? And why is it that certain people can see through lies, manipulation, and hidden motives almost effortlessly, while everyone else keeps falling into the same traps? Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people are not suffering because they lack intelligence. They're suffering because they're emotionally predictable. Think about that for a second. People know what makes you angry. They know what makes you insecure. They know what gets a reaction out of you. And every time you react exactly as expected, you hand them a piece of control over your life. This is why many highly educated people still make terrible decisions. This is why emotionally reactive people are easy to manipulate. And this is why the Stoics were obsessed with mastering themselves before trying to master anything else. Because they understood something that most people never do. The person who controls their mind becomes difficult to deceive, difficult to influence, difficult to defeat. Today, we're exploring 7 ruthless Stoic lessons that can make you dangerously smart, not in a manipulative way, but in a way that helps you see reality more clearly than most people ever will. And pay close attention to lesson number 7. It's the one that completely changes how people see you, yet almost nobody practices it. Let's begin. 1. Stop reacting so quickly. Most mistakes happen in the space between an emotion and a response. Someone insults you, you fire back. Someone criticizes you, you defend yourself. Someone disrespects you. You immediately feel the urge to prove them wrong. And that's exactly what makes you predictable. The average person reacts. The Stoic observes. Marcus Aurelius spent years training himself to separate events from emotions, not because he lacked feelings, because he understood that emotions are temporary, but decisions often have permanent consequences. Think about how many regrets started with a reaction, a text message sent in anger, a relationship destroyed by pride, a career opportunity lost because of ego. The smarter you become, the less urgent your reactions feel. And that leads us to something even more important. Because once you stop reacting instantly, you begin to notice things other people completely miss. 2. Watch what people do when they have nothing to gain. Most people reveal their character when they're rewarded, but they reveal their true nature when they're not. Anyone can appear kind when they need something. Anyone can seem loyal when circumstances are easy. Anyone can sound honest when lying would cost them. The Stoics understood that words are cheap, actions are expensive. Want to know who someone really is? Watch what they do when nobody is watching. Watch how they treat people who cannot benefit them. Watch how they behave when they gain power. Pressure exposes character. Power exposes character. Success exposes character. The dangerously smart person stops listening to promises and starts studying patterns, because patterns rarely lie. And once you learn this lesson, you'll never see people the same way again. 3. Most arguments are traps. Here's a truth many people learn far too late. Winning an argument doesn't always mean winning. Sometimes it means you've wasted your energy. Think about how much of modern life is designed to provoke reactions. Social media, office politics, family drama, endless debates. Everyone wants your attention. Everyone wants your emotional investment. The Stoics recognize that attention is one of your most valuable resources. Every unnecessary argument steals it. The smartest people don't feel compelled to fight every battle. They ask a different question. Is this worth my peace? Most of the time, the answer is no. And that's where real intelligence starts to separate itself from ego. 4. Never reveal everything you know. This lesson makes many people uncomfortable. We live in a world that rewards oversharing. People reveal their plans before they've taken action. They reveal their goals before they've earned them. They reveal their emotions before they've understood them. And then they wonder why others interfere. The Stoics valued restraint, not secrecy. Restraint, the ability to keep certain thoughts, plans, and ambitions private until the right moment. Because every time you reveal your entire hand, you lose flexibility. The smartest people are often not the loudest. They're the most observant. They're gathering information while others are broadcasting it. And speaking of observation, the next lesson may be the most powerful social skill you'll ever develop. 5. Listen longer than everyone else. Most people don't listen. They wait for their turn to speak. That's why they miss everything. The hidden motives, the insecurities, the contradictions. The opportunities. The Stoics believed that wisdom begins with observation, and observation requires silence. The person who speaks the least often learns the most. Notice how many problems disappear when you simply watch instead of immediately responding. Notice how much people reveal when they believe nobody is paying attention. The world becomes very different when you stop trying to impress people and start trying to understand them. But there is one thing even more valuable than understanding others. Understanding yourself. 6. Your weakest blind spot is yourself. Most people think they're objective. They're not. They see other people's flaws clearly. Their own, not so much. The Stoics constantly examine themselves, not to criticize themselves, to understand themselves, because your greatest vulnerability is often the weakness you refuse to acknowledge. The anger you justify, the insecurity you hide, the habit you keep defending. The dangerously smart person becomes brutally honest with themselves. And that honesty creates a level of self-awareness that most people never achieve, which brings us to the final lesson, the one that ties everything together. 7. Become difficult to read. This doesn't mean becoming cold. It doesn't mean becoming emotionless. It means becoming internally stable. Most people wear their emotional state on their face, their frustration, their jealousy, their fear, their insecurity. Everything leaks out, and because it leaks out, it becomes easy to influence them. The Stoics trained themselves differently. They learned how to maintain composure regardless of circumstances, not because they were pretending, because they understood that emotional discipline creates freedom. When people can't predict your reactions, they can't easily manipulate them. When people can't provoke you, they lose one of their strongest tools. When people can't shake your inner balance, you gain something incredibly rare, power over yourself. And that's what all 7 lessons have been leading toward. Because being dangerously smart isn't about tricking people. It's not about manipulation. It's not about becoming ruthless toward others. It's about becoming ruthless toward your own weaknesses. Your impulsiveness, your emotional reactivity, your need for validation, your desire to prove yourself. The Stoics understood that the greatest victory is not over another person. It's over the parts of yourself that keep holding you back. Master those, and you'll discover something remarkable. The world becomes far easier to understand, and far harder to control you.